Hello everybody! We are back with Storm and Fury, and this is going to be the second to last video. I hope. I am planning to try and wrap it all up because I finished it as of recording this I finished it about a week ago, and I just kind of want to get this wrapped up so that we can put it all together, talk about it, all that good stuff. But yeah, so a little update. I am officially reading Harry Potter, and I read the first book, I started reading the first book a couple times, but I never finished it, and I haven't read any of the other books. So I'm reading that right now, so if you want to see my interesting Instagram stories, just follow me on Barely Bookish, at Barely Bookish on Instagram. But I'm not going to be doing a play-by-play with those, because if you're looking for that, the Potterless podcast not only did it first, but they're going to do it way better than I did. So I highly recommend checking out the Potterless podcast if you're someone that likes Harry Potter, or you're like me and you never read Harry Potter. That's honestly the reason I started reading Harry Potter, because I really like the podcast. But yeah, and also, if you look behind me, all of my bookshelves are in, so they're all stocked and all that good stuff. And by the time this comes out, I think I should have an IGTV story up all about these bookshelves. So you can go check that out and, see what's all in here, all that good stuff. But yeah, but we'll get right into it. So today we're going to do chapters 30 through 32, through the end of 32. And if you've never joined us here before, hello, hi, welcome. But this is a spoiler inclusive show, so we're gonna break down what happens and talk through it and all that good stuff. But yeah, so if you haven't read it yet, these are the ends and you probably want to read it first. Yeah, I just don't want anyone to get spoiled, but if you don't mind, I don't mind, But yeah, we'll get right into it. So if you remember from our last episode, Trinity agreed to meet up with the witches, with Roth, and yeah, that was an idea, if I've ever heard one. So the chapter starts off with, chapter 30 starts off with Trinity on the phone with Jada, and Jada's asking for an update about Misha. And Trinity has not told Jada yet that she's working with demons, or that they're gonna go see witches. So that's not gonna go well, I can already tell you that. And we find out that apparently the compound's been super quiet since Trinity left, and everyone's really missing her, which is sweet. Peanut tries to go into the bathroom while Zane is still there, and Trinity yells at him, as you should, because, I mean, yeah, Peanut is problematic, but it's fine. Trinity is trying to figure out what to wear tonight, and Zane says whatever she wants because he's terrible at this. I still hate that. I've said it before and I'll say it again. So after Trin sees the witches, they're planning to take it easy. You go out to dinner. Unless they get intel, then they're going to act on it immediately, which is a solid plan for sure. They pull into the parking lot and Roth and Layla are there, but Layla isn't going in. She decided to keep Zane company. And Layla is literally at this point starting just to corner Zane whenever, she wants to. And I don't think she understands that part of someone's healing process, whatever they got into, is they don't always want to see you, Sometimes you need a little bit of that time apart before you can actually fully be friends with someone again, But Layla, we find out, can actually tag demons when she touches them so that wardens can find them later. And Layla and Zane used to do this all the time, but now Layla still patrols, but she only tags demons that are bad, which is good because they talked a little bit about how Layla, like Zane, used to tag demons indiscriminately, no matter what they were doing, and then they would get hunted down by the wardens. So it's really good that now she's trying to, be more conscious of the fact that these are people who have emotions and families and lives instead of, they're demons. But Trin touches Zane and asks if he's okay, and Layla gives off this vibe of jealousy, which This is one thing that I really hate, is that when when a girl's moved on or a guy's moved on, you know, a human being has moved on, and they still expect that their previous partner will not get with anyone, you know, or whatever the situation is with them. And instead, you know, she's allowed to move on and move forward with her life, but Zane isn't. And I think that's not great. That's really awful, because you can't be a hypocrite in these kind of situations. But yeah, she's being really hypocritical, and she's getting jealous and unfair towards Zane, who's just trying to like live his life. But eventually, so sorry, I lost my place. Roth and Layla like start making out as a goodbye kiss apparently, which big yikes. I really don't understand their relationship, because it's almost like Layla like wants to hurt Zane, which is really messed up. But eventually they break it up, and Ross asks if she's ready to go and takes a step away, and Zane checks to make sure she still that Trinity still has her knives. Trinity says that she does, and then he pulls her into a hug and gives her a little kiss on the head, which is cute. And so then they go, so they break up, and Roth and Trinity go to a private restaurant where the witches are having their meetings. So Trin asks Roth what happened between Zane and Layla, and Roth says he'll tell her afterwards, which at this point I thought that meant we're never gonna know, you know? When you say you'll tell someone something afterwards, it's usually a plot device to like postpone it inevitably, you know? But we find out we do get to know. So the first witch that they meet is Rowena, which this author must really love Supernatural, because she makes so many references to it. It's hilarious. I just think it's wild. Like, because Zane drives the Impala, which is named Rowena. There's a couple other references throughout here, but I really like that, where so much of this world is influenced by the culture around it, instead of most fantasy stories not having a lot of our modern day culture in it, which, I mean, overall ends up dating this story a bit, but I still think it's a good element to include personally. So a giant snake appears out of nowhere, and we find out that it's Ross Familiar, which he is loaning to Faye, and its name is Bambi, because Roth likes Disney, and that's adorable. So we do find out that another cute little world building thing is that familiars look like tattoos when they're resting, and only the most powerful upper level demons have them. So it's kind of a big deal that Roth has them, and I think this is a fun play on the entire situation with witches having familiars. Since witches are not able to have familiars, it's only the upper level demons. I do like that. So we also find out that Roth has a dragon named Thumper, which once ate an alpha angel, which is wild. So Roth asks Faye about Bael, and she immediately grows nervous. And Roth and Trin basically say that they know they did it, and Faye says that the spell that they're asking about is forbidden. So Ross says Faye should answer, because Faye doesn't want to get on his bad side, and more importantly, she doesn't want to get on Trinity's bad side, which this entire conversation is kind of wild to me, I'll be honest with you. So Faye admits that she didn't want to do the spell, but she was outvoted, and it was a human that asked. The human who asked is Josh Fisher, and he is a senator, which, remember when I said that some books like take a lot of culture in? Anyways, not only did Josh offer a large sum of money, but he also offered and I'm going to pronounce it wrong, Nephilim? We're going to go with Trueborn, because I don't want to Google it again. but super adorable. The snake wants to be petted. I don't even like snakes, but when snakes start acting like puppies, I would like that singular snake, you know, because you just want to pet its little head. When it's asking for pets, you gotta pet it. So Faye says that the entire coven is leaving and recommends that they do the same because something is coming. Which is, I just want to know who's giving them the early warning system here, because obviously the demons aren't warning everybody, you know? How does everyone know that something is happening but the wardens don't know, you know? I mean, they know that there's something killing demons or something killing wardens, but is that what everyone's using to make this decision to leave? I'm really not sure. But then, you know, our homie Roth drops the giant truth bomb of the fact that the reason Zane and Layla are fighting is because Zane loves Layla. Oof. Big yikes. Big oof. Alright, so then we get into chapter 31, and it just jumps right back into it. She does a really good job of leading all these chapters on cliffhangers, and I've said it once before, and I'm going to say it again, but like, it is really hard to read this as a book club book because everyone just wants to go on to the next chapter, and I truly do not blame anyone that does, because it's really, really hard to stop when they have all these cliffhangers. But chapter 31 starts with Roth telling Trinity that Layla also loves Zane and they were together for a while, but Roth says that Layla just loves him more, but he knows that they never met, she would still be with Zane. So Roth admits that Zane is a better man than him, and he's surprised Layla didn't go back to him, which is always kind of like a sad trope to me, personally. I just think that, you know, I hate that when you're kind of jealous of someone and you're like, oh, they're a better person than me. You know, you can be your own good person. I don't know. I don't like that. So Trinity is shocked, and Ross says at least as of 6 months ago, Zane loved her. And I mean, 6 months is a long time to be able to get over someone. You know, it's not the longest time, but I've also seen people get over someone in 2 weeks, you know? I'm just saying, I'm not sure. I don't know. So the reason the clan attacked Layla is because Zane kissed her and she took a piece of his soul when that happened. That's how Layla feeds, is by kissing them. Which is not a great way to feed, but whatever, that's none of my business. So in return, Zane punishes himself by moving out on his own. Ross says that he's surprised his clan let Trinity live with Zane because Zane knows that if anything happened to Layla, he would... because Roth knows that if anything happened to Layla, Zane would literally step over Trinity to protect Layla first. Which, I don't know, Roth is making a big assumption about Zane's feelings here, and I mean, we find out the truth soon, but I just think that's, you know, you can't assume that much of someone. Again, whatever, I'm not going to get into it. But Roth asked if they did the do, and he knows that once Zane does that, he's really moved on. And Trinity denies it, even though, I mean, kinda they did last, you know, the last chapter, the chapter before. I don't know. They kinda did. They got as close as you can get without, like, fully. Yeah. You can already see my cheeks getting a little pink, but... So Trinity's upset because all the signs have been there, she just didn't know him well enough to read them. She's kind of blaming herself here, and you really shouldn't do that, okay? Trinity, it is not your fault. You know, this is between Zane and Layla, and it's... So Trinity saw Zane and Layla before they saw either of them, and Zane looks sad. Once he realized that they could see him, though, he became expressionless again. And Trinity thinks this is due to her, and I'm kind of wondering, now that I'm talking about it, whether this is due to Roth approaching. You know, I don't necessarily think that this emotionless state is due to, I don't think it's due to Trinity, and if it is, I think it's more along the lines of he doesn't want her to see him in a weakened state, not that he's trying to hide that he has feelings for Layla. That's just my opinion, though. So, Zane says that they can get the sender's address in a couple hours with their clan's techie. And Layla and Ross said that they need to wait till tomorrow so that they can be their backup. Trinity, which is a weird thing, like, what do they have going on that they can't, you know, participate in the end of the world? You know? Like, what is so important, like your dinner reservations? Like, it doesn't seem like Layla or Zane have anything to do besides hang out at their, not Layla and Zane, Layla and Roth have anything to do besides, like, hang out at their house. So what is so important that you literally can't help your friends? Sorry, it is really late at night when I'm recording this, so I'm gonna keep yawning, and I'm sorry for that. So anyways, Trinity and Zane are being super quiet on the car ride, and Trinity just blurts out everything that Roth told her because she cannot hold anything in whatsoever. And I mean, I've said before that, like, you should talk through your feelings, but, you know, Trinity has no delicate way to bring anything up, truly. So, Trinity throws in his face that he failed to mention that he was in love with someone when they did what they did, you know, 2 chapters ago that I'm not talking about. Zane bites back and says that he didn't realize that they were that deep, and then he immediately regrets it because he knows that they are that deep. He's just trying to throw something in their face. Trinity is on the verge of tears and says she doesn't want to talk about it anymore, which, like, I totally understand, because sometimes you're like, you don't want to cry in a car, and you're having one of those conversations that you're definitely going to cry in a car, and you're just like, can we not talk about this right now, because I don't want to bawl my eyes out. I don't want you to see me bawling my eyes out. I get it. So Zane leaves his own house because he feels like he needs some space, and at that moment, I thought something bad was going to happen. Like, that was going to be the moment Zane dies, you know? Because that would be, like, a super cliche, is he leaves the house and they're fighting and then he, like, dies. That's what I thought was going to happen. Luckily, you know, it doesn't. And Zane's alive and he comes back 5 minutes later. And he basically was like, forget this. And he busts back in the apartment, like the total king that he is. And finally confronting his emotions, and I love that. So Trinity says that they have company, and Zane kindly asks Peanut to give them a minute, and Peanut is so happy that he's been acknowledged that he leaves so that they can have some time. So Peanut says that he's gonna go hang out with the kid on the 4th floor who can see them, and they're binge watching Stranger Things, and Trinity's like, oh, what? Which means there's some sort of Trueborn probably on the 4th floor. Like, which other angels are not following the rules here? So Zane says that it wasn't Ross' place to say anything with everything that's going on, but he didn't want Trin to get hurt. So Trinity starts lying and says that she didn't think that he was madly in love with her or anything, but she didn't think that there would be someone else. And then Zane says that there isn't. And Trinity says that he's in love with, Layla, sorry. That he's in love with Layla, and that means that she's second best. Zane says that he isn't, and hearing her say that is killing him. Love it. So Zane says that he cares about her, and starts to say that last night was, and then Trinity completely cuts him off and supplies, like, a mistake. And Zane says that and he asks if she thought it was. So Zane says that he regrets nothing and begins to tell the story of him and Layla. So he's kind of filling in the holes for us here of what Roth kind of left out, so it gives us a little detail. So Zayn says that when they were kids they met, and he knew Layla had a huge crush on him, but Zayn always knew they couldn't be involved because she fed by kissing. And apparently that's just, very important relationships. So Layla originally was able to kiss Zayn because she has Roth's familiar on her, Bambi, which is the same one that Faye has right now. And Zayn and Layla started dating after she met Roth, but she liked Roth more, which we already know. And Roth had to trade Bambi to the witches so that they would save Layla's life. That's like after the clan attacked Layla. So Zayn is mad at Layla, not because they broke up, but because Layla demands to know who he's with and everything and tries to act like nothing changed, which to me, in and of itself, is a toxic behavior. Okay, if you have an ex of any sort who still demands to be in your life and know everything about who you're dating all the time, block them, because that is not okay. You are an independent person who is allowed to move on and be in relationships, and they don't have to know about it. Okay? Okay. That's all I gotta say about that. So Trinity feels a little jealous because she wanted to hear, she didn't want to hear what Zayn felt for Layla. She kind of wanted to hear what he felt for her. So Trin knows that she would chase him and be with him, but she also knows that Zayn is not ready for that. So Trinity decides that she's not going to allow herself to be second best, and she leaves and goes to bed. Which is problematic because at this point, in that moment, she's not letting Zayn make a decision. She has decided for him that he is not ready. She's not let him make that decision or weigh in on any of those thoughts whatsoever. Each person heals differently. And it's not that Trinity is second best, it's more so that he did not know Trinity existed when him and Layla were dating. So, I don't know. I don't like that she just made this decision for him that he wasn't ready. She's not going to allow herself to have this happiness because she believes that he is not ready for a relationship. And I just think that that's not a good way to be. So I know we're already pretty long, but I want to finish this up in 2 episodes. So we're going to continue on to chapter 23, which is relatively short. But if you need to take a little bathroom break, this is the time before we get into chapter 23. So, chapter 23. Trinity is wanting to cry, but she doesn't. And I get you, girl. We've all been there. So Trinity decides that she's going to go figure out what happened with Misha and what's killing the Wardens. And then Trin and Misha are going to go home, and Zayn is just going to be a memory. She is this whole step-by-step plan of forgetting Zayn, even though she knows she loves him, because she thinks he's not ready for a relationship. I don't get it. This entire chapter I don't really get, but that's just me. So Trinity decides that if they don't get answers tonight, she's giving herself over to Bael. Terrible plan. So Zayn's got the address for the senator, and we know the senator was in the car. I didn't mean the entire chapter. I meant the beginning of this chapter when Trinity's deciding that she's not gonna be with Zayn. I didn't like that. The rest of the chapter's fine. But Zayn made bacon, and Trinity admits that she can't cook. Zayn says that tomorrow he's gonna teach her how to make grilled cheese, which is cute. Zayn says that he noticed that she locked the door last night, and wished that she hadn't, but it was probably a good idea. Now they're going to Senator's house, and Roth and Layla are going to meet them there. So they pull off the road and walk the rest of the way to the Senator's house. And while they're doing this at night, and Trinity can't see anything, so Zayn is actually fulfilling his duties of being a seeing eye gargoyle. I don't know, every time I say it, I want to say, I want to pronounce gargoyle wrong, and I don't know why. But there are no demons with the senator, and there's a small panic, but it turns out it's just Roth and Layla approaching. So that's good. I'm getting comfy. But yeah, so there's an alarm on the house, but Roth and Layla were able to disable it before they got there. And when they look into the senator, that he's involved in a lot of charities that help at-risk youth. But then when like bills come across to be passed, he turns all of them down that would actually help. So he's obviously just kind of showing, putting on a face that he's helping, but he really doesn't want to help. Maybe the senator's a demon. So Trinity is starting to panic and feels that the only way they're going to find Misha is if she uses herself as bait. So there's planned for a new school on the senator's desk, but it has a nursery. And my thought here immediately was, are they trying to breed trueborns? Because I can't really think what else they would want with Trinity. I don't, it's not good. So then a whole flood of demons show up because this is obviously a trap, and everyone shifts, and Layla, since she's almost died, has like weird black feathered wings, which is a thing, I guess. The demon that's there, his name is Aym, like A-Y-M, and he's the Duke of Hell, and he's super talkative. Like, I literally just like skimmed over it because he was just like way too talkative, I guess. But basically they want to hand Trinity over, and everyone says no. So that's how that chapter ends, with a whole bunch of people showed up, and yeah. So scary, but I hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you all for joining me. It's been a lot of fun, but I'm gonna wrap, the next video might be kind of long too, but I want to just wrap it all up in a nice little bow and have Storm and Fury done. And then when the next book comes out, Rage and Ruin, it comes out in June, I'll probably do another one of these read-along things, and that'll be a lot of fun. But thank you all so much for watching. If you want to join us in the Barely Book Club, I'll have a link down below. I'm not sure exactly when this is going up, so we might still be reading Jacobee, but we might also be voting for a new one. I don't know. Just check the description, because I didn't look at my calendar and decide when this video would be going up yet, so yeah. And then if you like short stories, writing tips, and book reviews, check out barelybookish.com. It's my blog, and it's fun, and I would like the support and would love you all. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!